Hey there everyone, Talking Tommy coming at you from Halifax, West Yorkshire, as per usual. And today's video is number 15 in my UK over-the-counter blend reviews. And today's review is none other than the one and only Clan. That's right, you heard me right. Clan Aromatic. Now, in my second to last review, I did St Bruno, and I said it's probably one of the most famous tobaccos in the UK. Well, I would say, other than Condor, this is also one of the most famous ones. I mean, just have a look at the artwork on here. It's, for some reason, I don't know why, they've given it some kind of Scottish flavour with the tartan and the crest. No idea why. Because I believe it was originally a Dutch blend, so who knows. Ours is not to reason why. So this is what the tobacco looks like. It's a sort of shag cut, ribbon cut, however you want to say it. I like saying shag. It's a satisfying word to say, no matter the context. So, pouch note is really nice on this. It really is. It's got a weird kind of sort of toffee-ish, caramelish, butterscotch, but also sort of like a vanilla and a sort of whiskey-ish kind of flavour, like a whiskey sherry kind of flavour to it. It really does have quite a lot going on, and there's a nice little picture of a glen here. So is it a glen or is it a loch? I don't know these Scottish words really. And it says here, the pipe tobacco with a unique aroma. Clan has its own character. We use no less than 14 different tobaccos from all over the world to create the special taste of Clan. 14. Seems a bit excessive to me, but it smells nice enough. Now, I've smoked quite a few bowls of this already, because in order to give a well-rounded review, you've got to smoke quite a few bowls before you give it your final thoughts. Pardon me one moment. So, yeah, I've smoked a few bowls of it already, and I've loaded this one into my Mr Brog Churchwarden. It's a pear Churchwarden. Mr Brog, cheap pipes, but I tell you, it's not a bad smoker this actually, it's not a bad pipe at all. I paid maybe £11 for this. It's really cheap, but it smokes really well. My only real criticism is the stem is a bit shit, bit like a cob stem, I find, but it's alright, it's smokable. Draft hole seems reasonable, seems right type. Anyway, I'm digressing, I'm going on about my pipe and I should be going on about the tobacco. So let's get started. So it says on the pouch 14 different tobaccos, but it doesn't specify exactly which tobaccos are included. A little bit of online research led me to see that it was Virginia's, Cavendish's, Burley, Perique, Turkish Oriental, Maryland, Kentucky, loads basically everything but Latakia from what I've read online. How reliable that is, I don't know. I really don't. But we'll see how it translates in this. Now, having tried a few bowls of this already, I will say the trick to smoking clon is to smoke it slowly and sip it, preferably in a long stem pipe, which is why I put it in my Warden. The first bowl I had was in a corn cob, and it smoked that fast. I was genuinely fearful that it was going to burn a hole through the cob. So but moisture content wise, I must say it is pretty dry in my pouch. I've not had that pouch long, it's not been opened very long. When I bought it, it was dry upon opening it anyway. Not bone dry, but fairly dry, drier than you'd want it to be. Now the flavour is actually pretty nice. You do get subtle hints of all those flavours I mentioned. Bit of a caramel, bit of a toffee-ish, bit of a vanilla-ish, bit of a whiskey sherry-ish kind of flavour. Mainly vanilla, I'd say. Maybe a little fruit. Maybe a little something else that I'm struggling to identify. But because of the amount of different tobaccos in it, and because it does burn so fast and so hot, it's incredibly difficult to identify which tobaccos are in this blend and which flavours it's meant to be cased with. Now the aroma's really nice. The aroma's nicer than the actual flavour you're taking into your mouth. Nevertheless, it does burn very hot. My bowl's getting quite warm already. And as you'll notice, I've had to relight it a few times, so it's not actually taking the flame very well. It's a strange one, really. It's mild in strength. Flavouring, probably medium, I'd say. The aroma's good, the room note's really good. It's a bit of a crowd pleaser, I think, as tobaccos go. And I would suspect that that was the original intention in mind when this was first developed. I think the idea was to create something a bit more non-smoker friendly, I think. But I'm not getting tongue bite, mainly because I am sipping it, I'm not chugging. The flavours are pretty nice. Again, not as strong as in the aroma. It smells better than it actually tastes, strangely enough. If you do smoke it too fast, and I know this from experience, it will incinerate your tongue. Completely incinerate your tongue. I would say, if you're going to smoke clam, exercise caution. Smoke it in a warden or a reading pipe or whatever you want to call them. Smoke it pretty slowly. If your pipe takes filters, stick a filter in. You will not regret it if you miss out those steps. If you're smoking this in a nose warmer, for instance, with no filter, you wouldn't like it at all. But as I say, these supposed 14 tobaccos, completely unidentifiable because of the casing. And as I've always said about a lot of aromatics, it's like they're hiding a multitude of sins with the casings they're putting on. Now, it does have its faults, I will say. There's no way tobacco should burn as hot and as fast as this does, especially when you're not smoking fiercely and you've packed it correctly. There's just no way it should. It, very much like Gold Block and Route 66, it has, and McCraven blends, it has a strange chemical kind of taste to it. It's dry in the pouch. It will burn your tongue. It will. I'm not getting tongue bite. Got a bit of a tingle, but not getting tongue bite. It struggles to struggles to hold the line, despite sensible smoking, or sensible pace of smoking, should I say. Here we go again. Yeah, it's not fantastic by any means. If you could only get hold of this tobacco, a lot of people would quit. I would possibly quit because it's really, really not particularly good. Smells nice. That smells nice. Room smells nice. People compliment on the smell. But my tongue is starting to tingle, the bowl is hot, the tobacco's nearly all gone. How? How is that possible? Doesn't make sense. Very odd. Very, very odd. It's certainly worth a try, much like anything else in life. And you can get 25 gram pouches like I did, so you don't have to buy a lot of it. Again, as has been said on quite a few of these reviews, the original recipe is not anywhere near the same as it used to be, from what I've heard. Having not been around in the 60s, I can't verify that, I can't vouch for that, but it sounds about right. This is now manufactured, I believe, by a Scandinavian tobacco company. There's a lot of the over-the-counter blends in the UK are now, so it wouldn't surprise me if they dicked around with it. It's what they do. I think I'm getting to the end of the ball here. But yeah, it's worth a try like anything else, but not necessarily recommended. I certainly wouldn't really recommend it. I wouldn't really recommend it to a new pipe smoker, and I wouldn't really recommend it to a seasoned pipe smoker. Perhaps if you chucked a pouch of it on your living room fire, it might make the room smell nice. But other than that, I wouldn't really recommend it for much else. The negative points in this blend, for me, far outweigh what little positive ones there are. I would liken it to an industrial sized version of your bits and pieces jar. You know that jar we all have, where you throw the scrap ends of every single tobacco you've ever bought, because you don't want to throw them out. That's what this is. This is like taking all the bits and bobs of every different type of tobacco on an industrial scale, and then just putting it all in the same pouch. That could be where we got the 14 different tobaccos from, maybe. I don't know. But that's why I think of it anyway. In all honesty though, it's not as bad as Three Nuns. It's not as bad as Craven Aromatic. And it's not as bad as I expected at all. But it's not as good as it perhaps could be. So with that, I'm going to give it my rating now. For the pack and cut, 1, standard. Lightability and moisture content, 0. It's too dry in the pouch. It burns too fast. Boy does it burn. It just incinerates and evaporates in no time at all. Flavour / beard note, I'll give that a 0.5. It's a bit insipid when you're smoking it, but the aroma is very good. Body strength balance, I give it half a point. It's not a particularly strong blend, to be quite honest, but it's not offensive. It's a fairly innocuous one in terms of its balance. Overall enjoyment, I'd probably give it a 0.5 for that as well. I didn't not enjoy it, or not enjoy any of the times I smoked it, but there's so many bad things with it going on that it makes it incredibly difficult for you to actually enjoy it properly. So it can only get half a point there. So in summation, Clan gets a 2.5 rating from me, and yeah, That's clan aromatic. So, thank you for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, let me know your thoughts and feelings on clan aromatic. Let me know your experiences of it. And until the next video, I will see you guys around. Take it easy, be kind to one another, and take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching. Cheers.